Hello, yo, what's up? Dancer A, I'm back. Sorry, I was away for a little bit, and then when I came back home yesterday, Showdown was down, so I couldn't do anything. But I got up this morning, and Showdown's live again. So I just did a quick battle before I had to go to work. I just got to replay because I didn't record it when I was playing, but I'll just go through it step by step. So at first glance, you can see this is a stall team. So at first, immediately I was like, I gotta start breaking this stall team down. Best way to do it is using my Trick Gardevoir to just cripple something on his team. Unfortunately, he led with the Klefki, which I didn't want to see, but I was kind of confused by it because Klefki wants to spam Thunder Wave and Spikes. I got 2 things immune to Thunder Wave, and I have 3 things immune to Spikes, being a Levitator, and Arcanine, which is almost always going to be Heavy Duty Boots. But whatever. They led Klefki, so I just switched to my Electric type and Levitator. They T-Wave. I predict that. Obviously, they click Spikes. I don't know why. Again, I don't know why they click Spikes. I Liquidation. Get some chip damage on this Klefki. I don't want to reveal my full set yet. I Liquid again. He goes to Palisand. Not a big deal because Palisand doesn't have like body press or anything, so the water compaction doesn't make any difference. Let's go into Coralganol. Yep, because I figured he would try to set up Stealth Rocks. I threatened this thing out with Ice moves, so this is a free spin for me. But I decided to Freeze Drive for some reason this turn. I guess I was afraid he was going to stay in, but I just spin. Second turn on the Knuckle Stack, he gets the Salt Cure off, which is not a big deal. I have Recover, and I do have a Covert Cloak Palisand. I just go hard in a Gardevoir. He Salt Cures again. At this point, I'm like, alright, this thing needs to go. So I just give it Destroy Specs, and it's locked into Recover now. So I'm fine with that. I don't need to stay in anymore. I go back to Coralganol. He goes into Klefki. I don't want to take that Thunder Wave, so I'm getting out of there. This time I go into the Palisand. Again, I'm immune to Thunder Wave, so it's whatever. He predicts me to Earth Power, but I'm just setting up rocks because I need to start chipping at him. They go for some Spikes. I hit some Shadow Balls, get some damage off. Fortunately, it's not that exciting because I'm just clicking Shadow Ball and then just clicking Spikes. Again, I just like to reiterate that clicking Spikes against a team like this is a bad play, and like almost 100%. We have 2 things immune to it, like by default, and then 1 mon that's almost always Heavy Duty Boots, so it's kind of pointless. But I'm not going to tell you how to play. So they predict my next Shadow Ball and go into Blissey. That doesn't really make a difference. I go into Electros, Rocks on my switch. I will just simply Dragon Tail because I have a Hazard up now, so I can start messing with them. His Blissey's Boots, so that's kind of sucky, but I mean, I keep Dragon Tailing because I know Blissey's one staying on me. Palisand comes in this time after the Knuckle Stack switches in again, and I just get it out of there because I'm AV, so he can't do anything to me. Blissey comes back, which means I can Dragon Tail again. So Knuckle Stack is basically dead now. Crockeler's in. I don't know what this thing wants to do, but I just tail it out. Apparently he went for Roar. That's why I went first. I figured he may Wisp me, but I think that's okay because he's not Boots. So he'd either be forced to slack off the next time he comes in, or he'd have to waste his turn, slacking off now, wasting 1, and then coming back in again at 75%. So I felt that was a fair play. Again, now, he finally brings in the Klefki. He gets the Klefki in from the Dragon Tail. I don't know why this wasn't the immediate switch, as it's a Fairy type, it's immune to Dragon Tail. And as we find out later, his Palisand is actually Terra Fairy, so he could have also done that, but hindsight, it goes for foul play. I just get off a couple of drain punches, get my HP back. I'm basically trying to bait in something else. I don't really want to. I want to get rid of the Klefki, but I also would like to get in the Palisand to get rid of it. Finally, he brings it in on the predicted drain punch. I actually wild charge that time to try to kill it off, but it's the same thing happens anyway. I go back to Coralganol. He uses Shore Up. As you see, I'm Boots, so I don't really care about the Stealth Rocks, and he turns into a Fairy type, which means now I can spin on him. But he gets a drop, so I just Haze just to be sure. I don't actually have that much special defense on this Coralganol. It's actually got a lot of physical defense, but he gets a drop 2 turns in a row. So he gets another couple of Shadow Balls off. I get a Recover off. He Shadow Balls some more. And I'll take this turn to spin as he goes in the Knuckle Stack, but it actually dies to Rocks. I don't get to spin. A little annoying, but Avalugg, I don't really mind because again, I have my Boots Arcanine. He has Body Press, not a big deal. I go for the Wisp here, predicting anything to come in. Palisand comes in, gets a nice little burn. So now I neutralize its leftovers. Go back to Coralganol. He doubles back to Avalugg. I just go right back to Arcanine. I have Morning Sun, so the damage that Arcanine takes isn't that significant. So I just Morning Sun on his Avalugg. He presses again. This time I go for a Wisp, but I miss. And he spins on me. And at this point, I just go up again, because I don't have a reason. I don't really... Nothing on his team threatens me, because it's a stall team, basically. So at this point, I just go back to Trigonal. This is going to be a spin, because this time he doesn't predict me to... I guess they didn't predict the switch, so I just spin on his Palisand. Because he turned into a Fairy type, I can spin on it now, so it's quite nice. He's not weak to Freeze Dry anymore, but that's not a big deal. I can just recover off any damage he takes. At this point, I'm getting a little bit bored, I can tell, so I just go right into my Venomoth to try to threaten something out. Crocodile comes in, I put it to sleep. Now this is when I completely forget this thing is unaware, so I click Quiver Dance for some reason. Like an idiot, but they woke up and they went for Slack Off anyway. This turn I go for Sleep Cutter and miss, and I guess they forgot they were unaware because they went for Roar. So, it is what it is. I got Dragon's Cryogonal, I go into my Palisand, and I just set the rocks right back up, and I take this time to shore up, see what kind of damage he has on me. He gets a crit Avalanche, which I can see that if I were to attack him, it may put me in a range I don't want to be in. So I take the opportunity to heal up first, go to Arcanine, to tank the Avalanche, and to get the Intimidate, then to double back to Palisand so the Avalanches do less damage, but they actually switched into their own Palisand on my own. So, kind of worked out, I guess, for them. He sets back up the rocks, but again, I am the spinner, so I will just spin them immediately. No reason not to. There's no spin blocker. And this Palisand's not a threat. So, they go into Klefki. Excuse me. And I will freeze dry it for some chip damage. At this point, I do not want to get Thunder Wave. There's no point risking it, so I just go right into my Palisand. They go for Thunder Wave, and they go for Spikes, sacking off their Klefki. So that's 2 pieces down. Avalugg's back. Arcanine comes right in, gives the Intimidate as they go for the Avalanche, which does 0. And I can quickly double back to my Cryogonal, although I wisped and missed again. I should have just went back to Cryogonal though. But he set up the rocks, and again, I will just simply spin them away. Crocodile is not a ghost type like Skeledirge, so there's literally no reason not to spin against it. Every single time. A Shadow Ball, no drop. Because I can fire for Freeze Dry, gives you some damage. 28 is a very good chunk, and I don't know why they set up rocks here. Again, I can spin on everything that they have on the team, and this Palisand is not a threat to me, as I do way more damage to it than it does to me, and I can spin on it nearly infinitely, because I believe Rapid Spin is twice the amount of power points that Stealth Rock does. And I just spin. I don't spin. I just tank I stay in and tank the Flamethrower, potentially, and just spin, but they went for Slack Off, so it didn't make a difference. So now I'll go into Palisand. They go for Roar. There's no hazards up anymore, so it doesn't make a difference. Arcanine comes in, and I believe I just blitzed, yes, because I was getting a little bit tired of this game. Took a little hefty recoil, but I can kill it off with close combat. And at this point, I believe they realized that this was a losing battle, and they forfeit. Rip stall. But yeah, that's it. I'll have some more videos up, probably this week. Either solo or with Rurisk, I'm not sure yet. We have to check our schedule, but yeah, I'm still around. We'll see you all on the ladder, I guess. I don't know.